Hey everyone, Christian here from CK Wraps. So I'm doing this video for a couple of people who've been having some issues with chrome and the gloss chrome cracking when they're installing it, or it discoloring. So I'm doing this video to show you its conformability on this Chrysler 300 series front fender. So as you can see, the front fender kind of tapers around. It does have a little bit more curve to it than other fenders. So we're going to show you how to do this and how we're going to get around here. It's going to be especially the more difficult part without cracking and hazing the film. So I'm using Vivid, and it's the XPO Rose Gold Chrome, and we're just going to place that generally where we need it. Now we're not going to get into trimming up all the edges and stuff like that. I just really want to show you how the film works, all right? And so, like I said, I'm just doing this for a couple of people who've been asking and having some issues with the film itself. So, we're going to cut away the excess film, and then we're going to go to town, all right? So I'm going to trim this up. Now, this does have a protective cap on it. Make sure I'm leaving myself enough. All right. I'm not wrapping this car in rose gold chrome. I'm just doing this for demonstration purposes only. This car is going in matte metallic black. So let's first of all, get the protective capping off, all right? We're not going to install it with this on because the chances of damaging the film with this on are a lot greater. So we're gonna get it off. This cap does not stretch with or without heat, so it makes it really difficult and it ends up binding the film. So, for an application like this, we can use a little bit of soap and water as well, and have that right there. So we're going to start by removing the backing paper, peeling the sticker side off first. Pretty basic stuff for these guys, for you guys watching this, because I know you already know how to install. But for those of you who are new at this, this is how we're going to do it. All right. Let me put another magnet. I like to use two. And let's get the film off from this side now. Try to keep it as level as possible between the points. So the temperature in here is roughly, I'd say 77, 78 degrees, or roughly 26 to 27 degrees Celsius, 77 Fahrenheit, or somewhere around there. We just got to get this fixed up a little bit here. I'm going to actually rework the front because it's not happening right here right now. All right, let's just get that down there like that. Pretty much, if you can do a fender like this, we shouldn't be having issues doing most other parts. So again, we're going to find a hard body line, which is right there. We're going to work up and work down from here. Pretty straightforward stuff. Just going to get that up. So I'm going to add a little bit of fluid. Keep it as scratch-free as possible. Like I said, you guys already know how to install stuff like this. So you shouldn't really need a lot of heat with this film. It's pretty thin, all right? One thing I want to remind you of is while you have fluid on it, do not heat the film because it will leave dimples wherever the fluid is. So whatever solution you're using. I'm just using my thumb to get it in there. I'm going to show you in the end that there's going to be no cracking on this. Put some relief here over on this side. Get that down a little bit. I'm going to pull down on the bottom corner over here. Like I said, you guys probably already know how to do most of this. level everything out. Again, we're gonna work in the, it's fine. Work in the low point first. I'm getting tension over here. Let's get that back down. That's what happens when you add too much tension to the film. I can use my squeegee, actually probably be a little bit better. All right, I'm just rolling it. Once I get this down a bit, I'm gonna skip on over to the other side. The air release works pretty good. So depending on your ambient air temperature, it's going to be either a little bit easier or a little bit more difficult to install. Again, remember, this is obviously a more delicate film. This should be thinner than Avery. It's labeled as being thinner than Avery, so it can damage a little bit more easily if we're not careful. So all of the new Vivid films should be just as clear as this. This is a brand new backing paper that they're using, and the backing paper is actually what gives it more clarity. Getting some tension here. Just gonna put a relief cut. So we're just gonna keep that going. We're almost there. So I know you can't wait to get onto the front part here because that's gonna be the challenge. So it doesn't come quite come right to the bottom. I don't really care. We're just doing this for demonstration purposes. All of this that you see there is just water, and we can clean it up afterwards. So now, what we want to do is get this glassed up a bit, and obviously work more from your halfway point. Just gonna get that up a little bit higher. So still no cracking in the film. Again, and I haven't used any heat, all right? So this is kind of like our halfway point. I'm gonna take the film and start conforming it around this way because I need the wrinkles to at least run across by the time I get to this area over here. So again, I'm not gonna do this with any heat. Now, if you guys have someone to help you do this, it's actually going to be way easier because you won't have this issue that I have right now, which is not having it glassed out completely right off the bat and having to have to do that. So I didn't really even clean this fender properly, so there's some particles underneath, but the main idea is that I want to show you that there's no cracking in the film. I'm gonna lay it fast. I'm just gonna lay it down like I would lay Avery for the most part, like their gloss white or whatever. Come back again, kind of get this in a better situation. Go. Just want to get that taken care of. I haven't really even decided how I'm going to do this section yet, but we're going to do it. So. So I'm gonna do that section whether I have to add heat or not. But as you can see, the film is going down super nice, super smooth. And there's go. Yep. So, here's the fun part. I'm not gonna worry about that because I need to get, well, I mean, I can push this down in here right now. Let's do this. Let's put some relief in there. Get a little fluid on it. If you heat this, let me wipe it off. If we heat it, I don't want to heat it with all the fluid on there. So if we heat this, dry it a little bit before we give it a little bit more heat. Let's kind of fix that up there. Then it'll stick better, all right? So still no cracking. It won't ever pop out of there either. I've never had an issue with that happening. Not that I've done this fender before, but I've just done recesses similar and haven't had an issue with it yet. It's just dirt there. So let's get this, I'm gonna heat it. I've probably marked the film a little bit doing it, but there shouldn't be any cracking, all right? So I have actually put some repositioning marks in it, but the film is not cracked. I'm just being really aggressive with it just to show you that I can heat it and stretch it all around here without discoloring it. There's a ton of dirt under there, but anyways, it looks pretty bad. You can see it all right there. But yeah. So I wanted to show you that it can be done without cracking it, especially all around here. I don't have any cracking down here. There is some discoloration up here because of the repositioning, and I let the film crumple together, but they're actually really minor. If I took my time, that wouldn't even be there. So we'll do a little close-up kind of in this area here. We can show how we stretched it in. All in here, it's fine. All around this fender right here is fine. So all in there. It's got some buffer marks. Those will actually post-heat out for the most part. All right. Across the fender, on the top and here is fine. And that's it. So, like I said, I did damage it over here, but I didn't crack the film. I just ended up putting some repositioning marks in it. I hope this video helps those of you who did or who are having issues with it cracking. There could be other reasons why it's cracking, I'm not sure. I have seen it before, and if we do overstretch the film, it will crack. We'll see if we can make that happen right now. So as long as you're being gentle enough, shouldn't crack. So let's see how far we can take it before it starts to crack. Okay, so I can see there's a lot of cracking going on here. Not sure if that's showing up. It would be right in this area, then that shows up. So that added quite a bit of heat and quite a bit of stretch to that. So if you're doing that much, it's way too much, all right? But even when I'm pulling it like this, now it's discolored slightly. I can see it's lighter, but it does take a bit of effort to get it to that extent. So if you are finding that you're discoloring it, you're just being a little too aggressive with it. And if you're finding it's cracking, you're just being a little too aggressive with it. That's what I think. I'm not really certain if there's another complication involved, but this is the same film that you're all getting. And I just wanted to show you that and how to go about installing it a little bit more careful. And I know you guys are good, so you'll be fine, but and you'll get the hang of it just like anything else. It takes a bit of practice, but I'm sure you'll be doing it no problem after 1 or 2 panels. All right, hope that worked for you, and take care, guys.